Hey, hello, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 5 of my building a SaaS in public. We are pretty much done with the authentication, and we are going to go on with the hero section and the actual functionality of how the application is going to work. So what the user gets. So let's just wait for a few people to join in, and then we'll get going. Hey, how you doing? What's up, Hershot? How you been? Let me open up my VS Code and then let's get started. Hershot, have you ever used the OpenAI APIs before? Hey, how you doing? What's up, D? Oh, you have? Nice. Yeah, we're gonna work on that. I'm gonna do that before the hero section. I feel like that's very important, and we're gonna map through what we're giving the user. Yeah. Have you guys used the assistants? You use Gemini API? Isn't that the Google one, Gemini? I've never even used their API. I know they've been in the news for a lot of backlash. Can we use something free or built in-house in this project as OpenAI is paid? Is there a better alternative? Because if there's not, I don't mind paying for it, because I kind of do want to deploy this as an actual project and see how it is. If you guys have recommendations, do you prefer Gemini over OpenAI, or how should we go about this? Has a great free plan. Let me open up Notion real quick. And let's, like I said, let's plan this before actually doing anything. So I have a SaaS project outline. And I said overview the application, a software that allows the user to easily create AI chatbot widget for their website without needing to have knowledge of coding or technical skills. So that's pretty much a one sentence overview of what we're doing. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to use the OpenAI. So yeah, technically, I guess we are just doing the front end, just making a call. Do you know how? I don't even know how to make a back end for that. To make it. So if you guys know how to do that, you guys can tell me, me through that. But if not, I'm probably gonna have to use the OpenAI. So let's pick what we're gonna use now. Let's go over the features. Okay, so let's go over the features of what the project's going to use. I'm going to go to a few competitors that actually use this as their project. So we have VoiceFlow. I actually use this. I've used it in the past. It says build amazing AI chatbots. I don't want to copy anybody's software, obviously, but when you're competing in I feel like an industry it's really hard to differentiate yourself. Obviously, some things in your software and application are going to be the same. So like theirs is really, really high end and good. Let me log in real quick. Okay, so you guys in the chat, if you could, let's go come up with some features for the chatbot. Just out of curiosity, if we copy someone's website exactly, can they copyright us? I don't think so. I don't think they could copyright you unless you're using like their logo and actual assets that they own. But if they're just doing like a chatbot that's generic, I mean, how many ways can you make the chatbot? There's only so many ways you can make the chatbot. Everybody's chatbot's at the bottom right. So all because you put the chatbot at the bottom right, just like every other website, they can't copyright you for putting the chatbot widget at the bottom right. That's just like universal. Just like they can't copyright you for creating a navigation bar that looks similar to theirs. There's nothing to copyright you for or to come after you. Like I said, the only thing they'll come after you for is like if you're using the same logo as them, the name, stuff like that. Obviously avoid. And obviously you don't want to make an exact replica of their software, but we need to take inspiration from competitors and see how it is. Okay, so voice flow. I know with voice flow, it's a chatbot like this. We want to create like a widget where it pops up. And like I said, we're not going to make it exactly like this. So features, pretty much what the user gets. Obviously, they get a chatbot widget. On their website. How you create widget for your voice project? Do I have a widget on there? I don't. I know I'm probably covering it, but yeah, I have no widget on this site. This is the voice site. So I don't have a widget on this one. I mean, I could create it through here. So the way this voice flow works is, so for example, I have this OpenAI assistant. I haven't worked on it in 2 months. So if we click designer, I mean, we're not going to make this. This is very difficult to make all this. This is like a multi-million-dollar company with a full team of developers and designers. But pretty much you make your chatbot. Oh, yeah, you have. It was this one. DevVibe Studio. It's right there. That's Voice Fusion right here. So this is Voice Fusion's widget. All I did was add their script tag to my head, and I was able to get this. So that's what I'm going to do for ours. But I've never actually made a script tag so other people could use it on their website. So we're going to have to see how that works. So what you do here is if you want to like, where is it? So integration. So this is how it works. I want to create something like this for the people. So as you can see, they have a script tag that you copy. You just copy it, paste the code snippet before the closing body, and all the pages you want the widget to appear. Remember to publish a production version to run your assistant. This is how it looks. And then you could change like the name. So you see it changes the name. And it does it automatic when you're done typing. Or when you click out of it. You could do a description. You could change the color to your liking. You could add an assistant image. You can add an assistant avatar. I mean, this is legit. So this is pretty much what I want them to do. So I kind of want to have something similar to this where they could change stuff in the inputs, like the name, description, wherever we want to put, and then it's going to show how the chatbot's going to look here on the right. So that's exactly what I want to do. So what do you guys, are we still sticking with the OpenAI API? What are we recommending? And has anybody in the chat, has anybody used a script create? So has anybody created a script tag for others to paste on their website? I think I know how to do it, but we're going to see. But as you can see, they have like a source where it's a CDN voiceflow.com/widget/bundle.mjs and type is text JavaScript. And then obviously they have the parameters custom to you, which is like your project ID, the URL, and the version ID, which is production. So we're going to do a chatbot widget on the website. Gemini? Okay, we could do Gemini. You said script flow is easy. We just have to call out APIs. Okay, so I'm going to count on you both to help me through this process. Since I've never used Gemini, so I'll go and use Gemini. We'll try that out. And take inspiration from the Google Analytics script. Let me go on Gemini real quick. So Gemini AI. Okay. Do you have a link to go to the Gemini AI API? I'm assuming it's this. This is the Gemini API, Node.js. To use Gemini API, you need an API key. If you don't already have one, create a key in the Google AI Studio. Secure it. Then we have to install this SDK package. I just use my personal emails to log in. I use my personal email for everything. I should create multiple emails for like business or YouTube and personal, which I need to do that. So I'm going to start doing that. And then we initialize the generative model. Looks easy enough. When specifying model, note the following. Implement common use cases. Generate text from text input only. So const model, Gemini Pro. Prompt, write a story about a magic backpack. Result equals await model.generate the prompt. And then you run, generate text from text and image input. So that is literally all the code right there, I'm assuming. This right here. Okay. Use Gemini API. Oh, it's fine to use a single Gmail for everything? What's up, Akil? Yeah, I mean, I guess it is. If you have a lot of stuff, I would recommend probably more than one. But yeah, I only use it personal. Akil, have you ever dealt with the AI assistants, chatbots, anything to that nature? And if so, or with the script tagged, because that's what we're working on right now. So use Gemini API for the chatbot functionality. We need to the only thing I don't understand about the API when you create a script tag is when you create how the chatbot looks like this and you're calling an API on the back end, isn't all this code this like styling with Tailwind on the front end? So how do they get this in the script? That's the thing I'm confused about. So if I wanted them to receive a chatbot that looks like this, how would they get that? I know how to, obviously they're going to get the API backend that we create, but this is technically in the front end. ChatGPT. We're going to try with Gemini. We're going to do the Gemini AI. Build a multi-turn conversation. So use Gemini. You can build a free-form conversations across multiple turns. Wait, does Gemini allow you to upload PDFs? Inspect that you will get how it is installed. I don't understand what you're saying, Harash. But does does the Gemini API have a functionality where you can upload like a PDF or like a sitemap to train the chatbot? Because if it doesn't have that functionality, I don't know if it would be the best. Or I don't know if it'll be better than OpenAI's API. So like it doesn't allow you to do, like if I go to OpenAI API, it only allows you to upload images. I don't think that's going to work for our case, because if you go like if you use voice flow like this one, you can actually, where is it? You could go like to the knowledge and you see you could add a data source, you could add like a file, a URL, a sitemap. If it doesn't let you upload files and sitemaps and URLs, I don't know if that's going to be viable for us. So I don't know if Gemini is going to work. Because if you go to OpenAI, let me log in real quick. If we build in an assistant, like if we go here, obviously we can, where is it? So yeah, we could use the tool. So we can like enable code interpreter and knowledge retrieval. So pretty much if we don't have the access to do knowledge retrieval, then the chatbot's not going to be like custom to their website, which is what I really want. I want a custom chatbot for their website. So if they give it information, I want that chatbot to answer based on the information for their site. Same thing with like passing the files. They'll be able to pass the file. If they have PDFs about their stuff like that. Yeah. So I might use OpenAI. Do you guys assistance API or the ChatGPT regular? Okay, so I guess we'll start there. Next thing I want to do is I want to create how the chat box is going to look. I want to create something like this at the bottom right. So let me open up the code. You think assistance? That's what I was thinking too. So we could create an assistant that can be configured to respond to user messages using several parameters, instructions, how the assistant model should behave or respond. You can specify any GPT 3.5 or GPT 4 models. The retrieval tool requires at least GPT 3.5 Turbo. Okay. Let me close all this. Inside of our app directory and our site, we have a dashboard page. And for example, like their website, theirs is like project. So how does theirs go? They have like an assistance, team and billing. So we have the dashboard, and then we can have like, we won't call it assistance. We can call it create. inside the dashboard folder, let's call it create chatbot. That's going to be where we create it. And then we have a new file called page.tsx. Okay, so we have a create chatbot page. And what I want to do first is I want to create our own on our dashboard and see how it looks. I think there is a component in ChatCN that we could use. Hey, how you doing, Raj? What's up? Let's create. Let's use ChatCN. And let's look for something that kind of shows where we can use it for our chatbot, like widget at the bottom. I think it's like drop down maybe. Let me see. It could be like drop down. So this is like the button, the widget. And then obviously this one goes up and not down. Is it because... So yeah, I'm gonna try this and see how it works. So let's do npm install. Let's get this component. How difficult is it to talk in code? It's pretty difficult, especially if you're like working on new stuff like this. I've never created a chatbot widget for anybody. So this is going to be difficult to do, to talk to chat and to code it. But some of the stuff of the authentication wasn't as bad because I already knew how to do it. But this stuff is going to be a little harder. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it better. Okay, you see, that's what I was wondering. So for the script tag, you can host the HTML, CSS, and JS using CDN and web server. And when user will put that script tag, the HTML and CSS will be loaded on that page. See, I don't know how to do that. So I'll have to chat GPT it. Or if you know how to do it, D, you could let me know. Type something in the chat. Links, anything that will be helpful will be great. But I'm not going to know how to do that. So if anything, I'm going to have to research how to do it. And obviously I research it on a stream so you guys could see too. But let's go in our components, UI. We have our drop down. You said the menu component of the headless UI looks better than ChatCN. Menu component? Or are you talking about this menu bar? Yeah, I don't like the menu bar. I don't use them. I only use some of the components. I don't use all of them. Oh, it's not dialog. It's drop down. You just have to make an express server and serve a static file. You see, would that run into an issue with having Next.js as a full stack? Because I've only done like MERN projects where I create an express server, sort of a full MERN stack. But I've never done a Next.js project hooked up to an express and then serves a static. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a lot of research when it comes to that. And another thing I could do too is like the people who have been watching, obviously the core group, I can give some of you guys access to be collaborators to the GitHub file. So if you guys want to help me out, obviously if it makes money, we could figure out how that works. But if that sounds interesting to you, we could talk about it later. But I could definitely make some of you guys who are pretty consistent and dedicated to this project as contributors, and we could go from there. Have you used RabbitMQ with Next.js? No, I haven't. I've never even heard of it. me exit that. Yeah, I think it'll be better to have like contributors because it'll make you guys feel more involved. Especially if you guys are coming every day, you know, just to make you guys actually feel like you're part of it, and which you will be. And it's just, we could help each other out in that sense. But for the drop down menu, let me do these imports. What I could do is in the components, I'm going to create a new folder called AI Assistant. New file, I'm going to call this the widget.tsx. RAFCE. Okay, so we have the widget. We have this drop down. And what I want to do is I'm going to surround it with a div. I'm just going to press tab and see what that does. And then I want to, I'm just going to leave it in the create chatbot. I'm not going to leave it on this page. I just want to see how it looks so we can actually get how it actually look. So we're not going to leave it on this create chatbot page. Okay, so we have the widget. Do I even have it running my local host? I probably don't. Nope. Okay, so we have chatty. Let's go to our /dashboard/create assistant. That wasn't a page? Oh, create chatbot. Hydration error. Hydration error. So we're getting a hydration error for something. Are we still getting hydration? We are. So create chatbot. We have a widget. Let me see if it's because of this dropdown. Okay, so what we can do, how difficult is it to create a framework like Next.js? I'll assume very difficult. Obviously, Next.js is the only one who's created. I mean, there's only a few. So I'll assume very difficult, and it's not probably easy. So we have the drop-down menu. I'm going to pull Shatsian up over here. I'm trying to separate all the pages so we can see. Okay, drop down. We need the drop down menu trigger. How did I create the logo? I created it in Canva. So I have a paid version of Canva, and you just go in there. I think they have a free version too. And you can just, actually we need a logo right now anyway, so we could go to canva.com and you could just search for a logo, and then it gives you like logo templates, and I just used a template, changed it to chatty, and went from there. What we need is like a widget like this. So we could use an icon. So let's use an icon instead. So like a chat icon like this, or even this, kind of like that. So we'll import this here because we already have React icons installed. Get this, and there's our trigger. We need to make this absolute or top. Actually, we need a height. How are we going to style this? I need this to be at the bottom right. This is going to be absolute. And this is on our create. Let me see if I can see the word high. I'm not seeing the word high. Am I even like registering this, or is it underneath the nav bar? Padding top of like 36. It is. It's underneath the nav bar. Is there a way to fix that, or do you think we just have to always give it a padding? Which is fine if we have to. But as you can see now, it's showing because I gave it a padding top of 36. We could do bottom 5. Right 5. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Fixed bottom left, bottom 5, left 5. I think left's going to put it on the wrong side. I think it's going to be like, yeah. I mean, either side's fine. I think we might give them the option to choose. I'm going to do right for now. Bottom 5, and then absolute, and then would it be absolute or no? Fixed. Put height of the nav bar to the body. I can put the height of the nav bar to the body. What do you mean by that? So if I go to my nav bar, where's my nav bar? Probably should take out my landing page. So we have the nav bar, width full, height 20, BG of slate 100, fixed, top 0, Z index of 100. So you're saying you could put the height of the nav bar to the body? Are you talking about in the root layout? I'll wait for you to respond to that. I'm going to keep styling this chatbot widget down here. And we can't use absolute and fixed. Yeah, if you said the body, I was thinking maybe if you put it, it'll affect everything inside. I think we might have to do a padding, but I could check to see what else. We could do a BG. I like the orange style because we need to pick a color palette for our website. So I like the orange. I don't know why. I just like orange. It's always been my favorite color. Padding 3. Now the widget's gone, which is... When I added the padding, the widget disappeared. Text white. Probably because I gotta do it with here. I can wrap the children. I can wrap the children in layout so nothing goes behind the nav bar. You're saying I can wrap the children in layout so that nothing goes behind nav bar and give it padding. Are you talking about like this? No, that's not gonna work. I can wrap the children. You can wrap the children in layout so that nothing goes behind. Okay, so you're saying whatever. So I wrap the children in a div. Put the children inside there. And do a class name of padding top 10. It depends on whatever the height is of the, I'm assuming, navigation bar. So it's 80 pixels. So if you go to the root layout, that's 40. If I double it, would it be 80? Padding top of 20. If I refresh the page, everything looks good. So if I go inside the widget and I just say hi, it goes even small, but let me do a padding. So it puts it right below. So yeah, that's perfect. You're right. So I just matched the padding at the top with the padding there, and now it's right below. Okay, perfect. Nice. So now nothing should be behind the navigation bar. So I'm creating this widget over here, and we're getting a background. And then padding of 2. And then why does it cover? When I put a padding there, almost the text white just goes away of the icon. This needs to be rounded full. And then a padding of like 4. The widget is behind the camera. The widget is behind the camera. Oh, you can't. Yeah, my camera. Duh. So I'm trying this widget here. And you can see in the code, if I take off the padding, you can see the icon. But then when you add padding to it, it goes away. As you can see, it's just orange circle now. Then you move it away and you can see it now, but there's no padding. So there's obviously something I'm doing wrong here. So if we do it like that, it pops up like that. I'm wondering if we should even use this dropdown. Do you guys even think we should use this dropdown by ShadCN, or should we just make our own? Make our own. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards making our own too. Because I'm opening this and I feel like it's some of the functionality that's already added onto the dropdown, I don't think I need. And I'll just use state, which is not a big deal. Okay. Let me move the import. We're going to have a use client. And what we can do here is we can create another div. We do the FA Rocket chat. Width of 8. Let's do a height of 8. Let's do BG orange 500. Padding of 6. This needs some padding too. Padding of 3 maybe. Moves it up. Padding of 5. Rounded full. Text white. Cursor pointer. Okay, so we have that little chatbot widget, which doesn't look bad. It's right there. So that's what we want to create for people's websites, so people could actually chat. Let me see if that is the best chat icon. I might do something else. It's not horrible though. I'll keep it for now. It's not that big of a deal. The icon. Okay, so we have the chat icon. Next, we need to make it pop up. So to do that, we can have on click, and we could just call this handle chat box. Your login sign up video is great help. Thank you. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Are you talking about the live video or the like one of the videos on my channel? Make the div a button. Yeah. Let me make that a button. Might as well just use the button. Should I use the button from Satien or no? Why is it padding like that? Okay, that's better. That looks pretty good. Good tip, good tips. One of the videos on your channel. Oh, very nice. I'm glad you liked it. We actually implemented that login functionality in the prior episodes for this application we're building, and now we're actually doing the chat application as we speak, the functionality of it. So we're gonna call this handle chat box. Hey, but I appreciate the support, man. If you want to stay, you can stay. Definitely, like, the more people, the better that we could come up with this, the better of experience for everybody. Okay, so we're gonna do a handle chat box, and then what we need to do, we can set the chat box to true. That's what it was telling me, which is perfect. Do you guys have a better way of doing this than using useState, or is this pretty much the only way that we're going to be able to do this? So initially it's false. So we do something like this. And then we can create, let's do a class name. Let's do a background of Slate 100 just so we can see it. A height of, I think we need to do a fixed height to start just so we could see it, I think. Height of 72 and a width of 72. So we click it. Well, there's nothing. There's no. Let me show something in the div, like hi. Refresh. Is this working? Let me see. Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, I was going to figure that out when it wasn't doing it on click. There we go. But now this is at the top and that's at the bottom, which is not what we want. Yeah, so handle chatbot like that. We need to move this on the top, and then we need to style it a little better too. So let me do rounded 2XL. That's good. I think the width is going to be a fixed, and the height is going to have to be full based on, I could just do full now, and that's going to be based on the text. Yeah, so height full. And then we're going to have some padding too, probably. So padding all the way around. Let's do 5. And then we need to get this. Oh, I mean, we could just move this above for now. Make the chat div absolute with the bottom. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, that makes sense. Make the chat div absolute with the bottom of 0. No, I can't do that now. Now it's going to move that when it's not, unless I'm doing the wrong div. I'm doing the button. So let me do, because the button's good. Let's do, I think you're talking about this. So it's going to be absolute. Or no, it's not. Make the chat div absolute with the bottom 100%. Okay, that works. It's just off the screen now. Let's do a right of 5. Okay, that works better. Let's refresh it. So it opens up something like that. And then what we could do here, you think give right of 0? Would that be hugging the edge? No, that's good. Right of 0 is good. I did right of 5 before you typed that, but yeah, it should look pretty good. This, I want to see what this is going to give us. Okay, that doesn't give us anything. So we hit this open. We have nothing there. What we can do is we have to now kind of like design how it looks, and then we can do the functionality of the chatbot with OpenAI. So we need to make, I think, another, let's do another div for now. And first thing we need is like, I guess we give it H2. Is that the semantic right way to do it? Is it H2 or H1? I know it's a widget, but I don't think it should matter. First, we're just going to make these fixed text, and then eventually we're going to make a dynamic based on what the user picks from that form. So that's how I was thinking about it. So they choose it on the form, on the inputs, like what the chat bot name will be. So this one would be like chatty assistant. What you can do here is a class name. Would this be flex? And then maybe text center, right? We could do this as text 2XL. And maybe that's a little too big. Text XL. Font extra bold. Or we could just do bold. Extra bold's a little too bold. Would this be text center? So it's not centering the text. Is it because, do I have to make this flex? And then this text center? No. Oh, the text is center now. Okay. Text center, div, chatty assistant. I want to see how mine is on my website, kind of. We're not going to obviously copy it like I said, but something very similar. Okay, so yeah, we can use a minus and an X up here at the top. Make the H2 text center, remove flex. Okay, so if I remove that and I put the H2 as text center, which I rather do, let me see. Okay, that centers it. I think this is like too big still too. Let me do text large. Let me actually do this. Justify between. We're going to have H2. And then we're going to have more React icons. Let me do it. I'm going to need a minus sign and a like X. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, we could do this one. And then we need an X. Or close output. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, we need to make this div. We need to make this div a flex. And then I think I need to wrap this into a div. Because I want the X and the minus to be close. So the minus is going to minimize. Oh, that needs to be a flex then too. Flex. And then space, say X 5, 3. That's not bad. So chatty assistant, we got the X and minus. Obviously we got to, let's do class name, cursor pointer. Same thing with that. And then we should have like a hover state as well. So like when it hovers, it'd be text black with like an opacity of like 60. That's cool. Hover, text black with opacity of 60. If you guys have any ideas in chat, just leave them in too. I definitely want to hear you guys' feedback. So far we have that, and obviously when we press the X, this should just remove it, and then minimize should minimize it, which I don't know the functionality to do that actually. Someone might have to chat GPT it. But what I want to do too is I want to create like a background for this. This is like a header background. And I might have to break these down to reusable components better. And then also too, I'm gonna have to figure out a way, like D you said, I'm gonna have to figure out a way how to create a script tag inside of an Express server. So I could pass the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to it, which I've never done before. So that's gonna be a challenge for me. But it's possible, obviously. So what we could do here is we could do item center. Or it'd be here, item center. I think it would be here. Yeah, right there, item center, not this one. And then let me do a background. It would be on this. So BG orange 500. Now there's padding. Justify between flex item center. We have padding of 5. Can we move this down here? Can we take out the padding of 5? Then we could do rounded as well, which this should be rounded 2XL. That's just going to match the parent div. Let's do all the text white. Like that. Oh, no, I don't like that. How do you do a rounded corners at the top and bottom? I mean, the 2 left and rights, but not the bottom. So, like, I want this rounded and this rounded, but not this. Let me see. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that was a class. I knew they probably had a way to do it, but I didn't know that was the class name. All right, so cool. Let's do that. Where is it? There we go. That looks good. Chatty assistant. Let's do a padding of 3 maybe. We could also add like, I think it's called like a live icon. We're just, no, we could do a dot. Like literally a dot like this. Let me import it. Let me use the dot. And what I want to do is I want to use the dot like next to the name to show like it's online. FA minus chatty assistant. And then I'm going to cover this in a div so I could keep these together. Just be a flex. Item center. Text green. We try 500. Oh, no, not both of them. Just the dot. Class name width of 7. Text green 500. Maybe it's a size attribute. Do they have it? Size equals try 10. 20? 40? It looks like there's padding around that though, which is weird. I mean, that's not bad. We can make this width a little bigger. Because if I go full screen, yeah, let's make the width a little bigger. Width of, let's go 96. We might have to change that depending on the screen size, but that's good for now. And then we're not going to set the chat box to true. We're going to set chat box to the opposite of the chat box. Did you miss something? I'm just styling the chatbot component right now. So I have this green like live when it's showing kind of like the assistant's ready to chat. I have the minus and the plus, and I need to make functionality for that as well. So for the close, I'm just going to do an on click. And I'm going to do handle chat box. Just like that. And I'll do the same thing for the minus. So refresh, closes, closes. And we could add like framer motion or any keyframes and make it like better. Okay, cool. So this is working good. Do I have the on click? It should be the whole button actually, because I'm clicking the button sometimes over here and it's not going. Let me move this to the button. Now this on click should be the whole button. Yeah, okay, so it was, yeah, sometimes I was wondering why it wasn't working. Okay, next step. I kind of want to change the hover maybe to a different orange. So let me go to the button, BH. Maybe I could just add the hover. BG orange 500 of 70 opacity. There we go. That's way cleaner. Okay, cool. Let me move my camera up a little bit. I'm like off. There we go. Okay, next thing we need is we need like an icon. I don't know if this component's getting too big. I'm trying to think what we need. What else do you think should be added to the chatbot other than obviously the user message and the AI chatbot message? What else should be added here? I think the next steps I have to do is actually have to create the chatbot. There's no point of just doing fixed text for the message. I'm going to go to the OpenAI API docs. Let's go over to the assistant. So the first step is obviously creating the assistant, in which we're going to give them the ability to give it a name. So whatever they name it, that should be the dynamic value for this right here. Let's create an API folder. I'm not going to use a server action. Let's just create an API folder in the app. Oh, we already have one. Let's create another folder in there called the Open AI Assistant. And let's figure out how we're going to do this. So an assistant represents an entity that can be configured to respond to the user messages using several parameters like instructions, model. You can specify GP3 3.5 or 4. The retrieval tool requires at least 3.5. Okay. So we need to create the assistant. I think it's not going to create the assistant, or is it? I'm trying to think. When they create it in their dashboard, that's when it's going to get created. So the create assistant, we actually need to create a totally different page, I think, or component. That's going to be in the create chatbot. Yeah. That's what we're going to have to do. Let's do that. So inside of the create chatbot, let me remove this widget, and I'm going to place this inside the dashboard instead. Let me just make sure that's good. Widget. Localhost 3000 / dashboard. We got our widget and it's still working. Okay, cool. So we have like the frame of it. Next thing we need to do is, like I said, the first step is creating a chatbot, but they don't create a chatbot when they click on this widget. They create the chatbot on our website on a form. So we're going to do the create chatbot page, and this is going to be a form. So / create chatbot. And what we are going to do here is let's do the chatbot form. Let's create a folder and components called creating chatbot. Then let's do a chatbot form .tsx. And what I want to do here is I want to create like the form on the left side. So almost like 2 columns. So we have our sidebar when they're logged in, side, our chatbot form right here on the kind of middle, and then on the right it's going to be how the chatbot's going to look. So it's going to update as they type. Well, not as they type, as they finish the input. So what we can do is we could do our AFCE. We have the chatbot form. Let's import it. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to take one of the, pretty much the base of our authentication of that form. I'm going to use ShadCN's form. Can we use ShadCN's form? I think we can. If not, we could do something else, but we have Auth. Let's say register form, copy all this. Was it a capital B or lowercase? Lowercase. Okay, so we have the chatbot form there. We need to create the form field. So the first form field that I want to create for them, let me refresh this. So yeah, it's saying a field for imports. So import card wrapper from there. This is in the /auth. I'm just going to let them finish what I need for me. We don't need the Google login. Why is it showing that? Like import let's just remove the form error and form success anyway. Just for now. The register action we don't need. Z from solid input. Register schema we don't need. Solid resolver, form description don't need. Let's create a schema, I guess, for this. So what are they going to type in? This is going to be, yeah, we could call it the chatbot schema. We could give it a name, which would be a z.string. So this would be your chatbot name. This is what could display on the top of the page. Just like that. Name is required. Okay, next. We could do description, and then we could say description is required. Then what else do we need to give it? We need to give it a color scheme. Color scheme is required. That's going to be a string value. What else can go on the chatbot? We could do logo. They have to upload a logo, z.string. Logo is required. And the other field they need, it's called knowledge base. Knowledge base is required. I think it's a string. So Zod schema for file. Yeah, I'm gonna need the OpenAI API key. Yeah, I'm gonna need that. I do have my card on file, so I don't, like I said, I think I have like the limit set to like 30 a month. So you could always set a limit, but right now, is that right? The knowledge base. So say if they upload a PDF or a sitemap. Hey, what's up, Loco? Hey, Brett. While I was looking through episode 2, I modified the car wrapper props, included a back ref title that I'm clicking sign up or sign in instead of the whole label. Okay, yeah, that works. That works too. I think this would be a string for the knowledge base. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see if we get an error thrown at us. So we're going to do, what is it, chat bot schema. We're going to do the chatbot schema here. And the initial values, name, empty, description, empty, color scheme, empty, logo, empty, knowledge base, empty. Okay, let's get rid of this on submit. We already know what it's going to be though. Chatbot schema. And I might not have to make them required, because if they only want to update one field and then click, they should be able to. So if they just need to change like the color and not everything else, we'll have to work on that as well. So the name for this is going to be name. We're going to give it your chatbot name. I don't know if I'm going to wrap this in a card wrapper either. Placeholder. We'll give it chatty assistant. Type text. Next one is going to be the description. I might have to do a form description too. Yeah, I'm going to do a form description. let your visitors know about your assistant. Same thing with your form description. Choose a name for your chatbot. Describe your chatbot. Charismatic. Personality. I'm just writing descriptions right now for these fields. Let's see. So we have description. We have color schema. Color scheme. Choose your color scheme for your chatbot. Perfect. Next one is going to be your logo. Upload a logo for your chatbot. So it's not going to be of type. It will be type, and then it could be file. Let's get rid of the placeholder. Let's get rid of this placeholder too. Text. Let's comment these out. Let's remove the Google login. Okay, so there's how our stuff's looking so far. Obviously, this isn't the register page. I don't think I'm gonna do a card wrapper either. And it's not gonna be registered. Let's do pending loading. If not pending, we are going to say create your chatbot. Oh, why is it looking like that? Logo is like that, and then it says upload a logo for your chatbot, and there's like no file. We need like a paper clip to show that I could upload a file. Oh, it shows it right there. Even though you could click on the title, which is weird. So if we choose like this logo, chosen. Okay. And we have one more field to do. This field is going to be instead of logo, it's going to be knowledge base, form description. It's going to be upload. Upload files to train your chatbot. Can be okay, perfect. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to have the card wrapper. So let's just put a div instead. Okay, so we have this div and it's just taking up the whole page, which we don't want. Let's do a class name of width of full. And then I think we need to wrap this again. With the full and a flex. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do basis 1/2. And if I do flex, is that going to put everything? No. So basis 1/2, I think, is a tailwind class where it does like half of your screen. And right now, we're going to have a sidebar eventually. So I'm just going to put a px of 16. See how that looks. So on mids, let's see, flex. And then on mid size and up, it'll be flex row. Everything else will be a flex column. So if I do like this, there we go. Also, I'm going to give it some padding at the top. Let's give it padding top 10. Just get away from the top. Right below this basis 1 div, let's give this an H1 saying create your chatbot in a few steps. In just a few steps. And then I want to see what I use for the H1 styling of my card wrapper. I like that style. So let's go to our, where is it? Components. Here it is, card wrapper. It was the auth header. Text 3XL and the font was semi-bold. I like that. Let's go back to our, right here. This might have to be text center. And then margin bottom 6. Create your chatbot in just a few steps. So we have that on the left, and then on the right, what I want to do is I want to display it. So that div is that, and now let's create a div right below this. And I'm going to create a separate component because this component is starting to get too big. Basis 1/2. And then let's create a component called chatbot prototype. chatbot prototype.tsx. And then what we need to do here, I need to, hey, if you guys have any recommendations, just shoot them my way if you're in the chat. I'm sorry if I'm not talking as much, but so far this is what I got. Obviously, we'll fix the navigation bar. We need to fix the colors of the whole website. But right now we're on the dashboard / create chatbot route. And I'm thinking of, this needs to be a cursor pointer. But to create your chatbot, you're going to give it a name. You're going to just give it a description. You're going to give it a color scheme. You're going to give it a logo. And you are going to give it a knowledge base. We could obviously add more stuff to it. So like the knowledge base could be a PDF. So say if I want to use this file right here, and I need to be able to give it access to upload multiple. But before it even submits the form, I want to be able to display it right here on the right side. So what I want to do is I want to create this is the right side. This is like the chatbot prototype, so they can see what they are doing before they create it. And when they create it, the next page is going to be where they should be able to get the script tag. So when they click create your chatbot, we need to send it to an API, create the chatbot based on whatever they send us, and then send them a script tag, which maybe make it drag and drop for knowledge base. Are you talking about using the drag and drop library? Or is there like an HTML feature for drag and drop? Like just a web-based generic? No drag and drop file to upload. Maybe make it no drag and drop file to upload. Is there a thing to do that? I don't even. Here's a website how to create. This person using React drop zone. Is there an HTML file? Or is it just file input? Input elements with the type file. Let the user choose one or more files from the device storage. Once chosen, the files can be uploaded to a server using the form submission or manipulated using JavaScript code in the file API. Yeah. So like height 3/4. Width 1/2. Oh, that's really small. That should be on mid-size screens and up. Everything else should be width maybe 3/4. So we have background gray, padding 4. Let's see, we could do this. It'll be like an extra feature so the user can also upload by dropping file above component. It'll be an extra feature so user can. Yeah, I mean, we could. I'm gonna create it for sure. I don't know, like what I should use for it. The only thing I've seen is the React drop zone library. If anybody else has a suggestion on how we should drag and drop multiple, so if we choose another one, is it gonna do both of them? No, it's just gonna keep replacing it. So that's not gonna work. What we're gonna have to do here is we can give this an H2 and let's make this dynamic. This is going to be name. Okay, let me just do chatbot name. So if we go inside of here, this is the part where, okay, am I going to be able to use the React, the chatCN form? Because if I want to get the name before it gets submitted, how would I get it from this form? So this form ID name equals name. I want to be able to retrieve this name before it's even submitted. And I want to be able to pass it in as a prop into this chatbot prototype. Is that possible? Anybody in the chat know? Obviously, if we create our own form with the use state hook, when they type, it's just going to re-render and we're going to be able to use it and pass it as a prop and it re-renders every time. Oh yeah, of course. I'm overthinking it. Is it multiple? Is that what it is? I think so. Let me. Let me refresh it and see if it's actually doing multiple. It's not even showing that it is. Let me go back to the chatbot form. Let me console log. Okay, I'm console logging data. Let me inspect it real quick. Make sure we're just receiving it. And like I said, does anybody know if we can actually be able to use the form component from chatCN to update this? Yeah, you could select multiple from the Explorer once. If you select one by one, it'll just replace the previous. Oh, okay. Duh. So let me do that. So let me do Brett. Sure. Just random hex. I did a money sign. And let's say we do these. Makes sense. There we go. 2 files. If we create your chatbot, color schema, description, knowledge, logo, name. We're getting it from fake path. It's only showing one of them, I think. Do you guys see that? It's only showing one in the knowledge base, not both, even though I dragged both over there. For the state pass to the prototype, you can either pass props directly to the component or make a context. But what am I still going to be able to use ShadCN's form? Because obviously I know they're storing the state, but how would I be able to retrieve the state without them clicking submit? So like this state right here, this form field, technically is, or this form field right here is the name. So if I start typing my name, how can I pass that as a prop? Do I just pass name equals name? So like name equals name, or was it chatbot name? You need to use the React hook forms const append equals use field of name knowledge base. Oh, I didn't know they even had that. Let me see. Let me try that out. So you can use the React hook forms const append equals use field array. So I'm assuming we have to import use field array because it sounds like that's a hook. Import use, was it use? Use field array. So you're saying don't use the use field array? Because if not, I could just look up the docs. I'm not 100% sure. So use field array. And then you said const append equals use field array. And then control. It's showing that, which might not be right. Okay, so like name will be knowledge base. Is it always knowledge base? Because I have other fields, so like knowledge base, name would be name. Or you're going to name this different. So this would be knowledge base. No. Let me look up the docs, and if you do type it, because I'm not fully understanding. React hook form use field array. I mean, that hook makes sense. So the use custom hook for working with field arrays dynamic form. The motivation is to provide better user experience and performance. Name string, name of the field. Do not support dynamic name. So you can only do it once, so like name would equal the knowledge base. Control. The name can be anything, but the use form default name like this. Let me move my thing down. It's kind of hard to read the chat on the top screen. So it's, you have a name and it looks like a rectangle. Wait, the name can be anything, but then the use form default name like this. So you said the use form and then default names like this. A custom hook that exposes convenient methods to perform operations with a list of dynamic inputs that need to be appended, updated, removed, etc. So they have a video.
Do you need more power, more control? Then you need VPS hosting from Hostinger.
We're gonna say this allowed us to, and also one thing, just something to be aware of, and let's look. We're gonna listen to the root of that.
Okay, that's a long video. I'm not gonna watch downstream. So when you say use the const name equals watch name if you're using the React hook form, do I still have to use the use field array hook, or do I just put the watch? So like const name equals yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to get real-time updates. So let me remove this real quick. So like I said, when they're typing, this name, where it says name right here, should change. So like if the name's Brett, after a few seconds of typing, I could use like the use debounce hook. Use debounce package. So after they stop typing for like a second and a half, this name should pop up here, like automatic. You need to get control destructure from use form. I saw that use watch. So yeah, so watch equals use form. Okay, let me try that. Do I have to import it or anything? And then you're just saying const name equals watch and then name. It's already here. I'm assuming I have to do it inside of here though, because I'm using the use form. So wait, it's watch under my form variable. Nope. No. They have this use watch React hook for subscribing to input changes. Behaves similar to the watch API. However, this was isolate re-rendering at the custom hook level. At line 44, like this line right here. So you're saying put the cons watch under your form. So yeah, so under my form, I am going to say, so watch equals use form. Or const watch equals form. Would that work? So that would work like that. And then I must have to do something else. So yeah, here's the watch. This method would watch specified inputs and return the values. It is useful to render input value and for determining what to render by condition. So then watch input name, watch input name 1. When default value is not defined, the first render of watch will be undefined. So I have to do watch name, watch description, watch color scheme, like that. And then set them to variables. So like const. Can I set them to the same variable even though? I guess I can. Okay, it's starting to make sense now. I've actually never used the watch from the form. Equals watch. So that's all you have to do, and it automatically will update this variable. So now I could pass it into this here. Let me try name equals name. Probably should create types for it. You just used it recently too? Yeah, no, that's perfect. It was meant to be that you were here live because I definitely need help with that. Type name string is not assignable to type string. Type name string is not assignable to type string. Name. Am I doing something wrong here? Name. Oh, no, you're good. No, it was perfect. I need to find a way. Do you guys know a software or anything where like you could almost be interactive? That would be pretty cool. Like where you could like actually be interactive in the chat. That's what I thought I did. You can't pass params to components, only props. So how am I going to so if I want to get this name, let me do a console log real quick and see what's doing. But yeah, I want to get the name over then to the that component. Okay, yeah, that's working, right? Yeah, you're right. The watch helps. No, the chatbot property name equals name is correct. Oh, okay, yeah. I was just... Sometimes I'm getting the syntax wrong for this. There we go. And so then this should be the name. Like that. Control S. So then if I start typing... Perfect. There's a problem with the type and prototype component. Yeah. Yeah, I just fixed it. I should know because I keep doing it. I do all the children like that as well. But I need to... Do you think that renders the app too much? Like it re-renders the app too much if it's just doing it after every keystroke? Or it's not a big deal because I'm not calling a database. I'm just passing props. Do you guys like, you know, the use to bounce package? But that's only for a function, which I'm not firing a function. Is there any way to like when they type like this and when they type out of the input, this will pop up now instead of automatic? If that makes sense. I'm trying to figure out if this is like the best optimized where it's just on every keystroke. I don't know. Brett, let's do... Not much big deal with some fields, but if you do it for all of them, it might be slow. Yeah. I'm not going to do it for the knowledge base, and that's the only one I'm not going to do it for, actually, is the knowledge base, because they don't need to see that. It's not a visual representation of the chat. So what we need to do... I'm trying to think. What can we do? And let me get some of these styles from the widget component I made. Let me just get this whole thing right here. I'm going to get that. Go back to the chat prototype. Let me move this here instead. Let me remove the absolute, the bottom, the right. Let me go back in and get some other styles. Let me do this div. Let me do this whole div, all these right here. And we might as well make it look good as well. And not much a big deal with the fields. I close. Remove the on click. Okay, now it's starting to come along. Now it actually looks good. Let's make this dynamic. Oh. it trigger re-renders at the root of your app or form, so it'll be re-rendering the complete page. Yeah, if it trigger re-render at the root of your app or form, so it'll re-render a complete page. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what to do with that, I feel like. And there's gonna be one time where we spend like 30 minutes. Obviously it's gonna be boring for you guys, but I'm just gonna clean my code, write comments. I don't want to get this code really messy. But that looks pretty good. So if I start typing chatty, it looks like that. So chatty, Brett. So that looks good. Now we need the logo. It says when you type an input, it only re-render that input, but if you use watch, then it re-render everything. When you type, it only re-renders the input, but if you use watch, then re-render everything. So there's no way of getting around it then if I'm using. Is that what you're saying? So no matter what, I'm gonna have to re-render everything if I'm using the ShatCN form. Next thing I need to pass over inside the chatbot is the logo. I'm gonna do the logo equals logo. For the logo, it'll be a string too, correct? Because I'm actually really bad at when it comes to making an avatar with an image, because these images that I get, so like if I do this, do logo, I want this logo to appear, but I'm really bad at converting these images because Next.js makes you like update the next config file and everything, so it's kind of confusing to me, but I mean we'll be able to figure it out here. So we have that div, this div, and there's the main div. So what we need is the image component coming from next image. Okay, so if I come into the inspect, I can check the performance, and if there's a heavy render you need to fix, otherwise it's fine. Performance insights. Where would you check the performance? Would it just be the performance tab? Only 3 fields, not a big deal. It's in profiler. Okay, I'll have to play around with that, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's only 3 fields, not a big deal. Okay, the next thing I need to do is I need to add that image. So we're getting it from the logo. So if I do that, you see invalid source prop, this fake path. I know that you're supposed to configure it inside of the next config .mjs file right here, like as a remote image, but like have you guys ever configured it with a fake path? Because I feel like obviously everybody's going to be uploading from their local computer. So this is my fake path. I'm going to open my other screen real quick to see. So you go to next config. You can do URL.create URL object file. I still think regardless, I'm gonna have to update the config file, but I could do that. That actually would help. Hey, what's up, Omar? Yeah, I could maybe eventually get to it, but I've never gotten into the PDF stuff, so I'm kind of busy with my stuff I'm doing right now. So I mean, eventually I could get to it. Maybe somebody in here in the chat might know more about the PDFs. But if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord and ask people as well. You're saying URL.create object URL. So we go in the components, creating chat. Where are you saying put that, Simon? Are you saying put that in? Because we're using the form field. Yeah, I think I know you could do that, but like what is the fake path? Is that just my computer or is that everybody's computer? My computer. So if I'm doing it for other people's, how am I going to be able to know what they have without actually? So we choose a logo. Invalid source prop. It's saying I never put your computer. I think I never put a local drive in it. So if I do this, say I want this image. Fake path on next image hostname is not configured under your images in the Next.js config. Yeah, I'm about to look it up on my other screen too. I'm gonna open this bigger so we could look it up together. First, I'm gonna chat GPT it. I always kind of like doing that to see what it says. The fake path displays the security implementation from your browser, commonly seen in Google Chrome and others. This is not controlled. Some browsers have a security feature that prevents JavaScript from knowing your file's full local path. So that is what fake path means. When a file is chosen using the input, the real path to the source file is not shown in the input's value attribute for obvious security reasons. Instead, the file name is shown with the C fake path appended to the beginning of it. There are some historical reasons. So the browser shows the fake path for security reasons and will not cause any issue with the file upload functionality. The file upload will work fine. So how do I accept all images then? You have to manually put on change and put it on input, and the inside on change you could put the URL. Okay, let me try that. So you're talking about on the form, right, D? So chatbot form. Okay, so let me go to the logo. You're saying on, you have to manually put the on change and put it on the input. So on change. And then put on the inside of the on change, you could put the URL dot create. Did I spell it right? Create object. No, create URL object. And you're passing the file. Oh, okay, that's... You're talking about don't do it in here, just make a totally new function and then call it. So like, or you could just say and then you're saying do the URL dot create, and it's not the logo, is it? It'll be the file. Set values from the use form similar to how you get watch. What would you put inside of the URL.create object URL? It won't be logo, would it? Argument type string is not assignable to type blob or media source. Do I have to change the type of the logo to a blob? The function allows you to dynamically what is the type for that? I keep forgetting. I usually don't do the type for the E. Hmm. What do you do? Const. Is it mouse event? Cannot find name logo. So this would be. Why are you doing it manually? Just chat GPT it? I mean, I'm getting help from the chat, which I feel like it's better than chat GPT right now at the moment. Because the only thing too with the logo, e.files, where are you saying put this? In here? It says property files does not exist on type mouse event. Yeah, exactly. Getting from the chat is chat GPT. Yeah. Const hey logo is the link or file. Logo is just it should be a file. But for the types and the schema right here, I put logo as a string, which it should be a string, right guys? So the logo is a string. And then the logo is going to be here in the input of type file. Did I just do something? Why am I getting all these errors now? Hey, logo is the link, I think. So you're saying, D, you're saying, yeah, it will be a string. And then Simon, you're saying, but you don't want the string. You want that file from the event. Did I just remove all of the watch stuff? I did. Logo should be z.object. Okay, so this logo, what should it be, guys? Z.string, z.object. So z.object, that's what you guys are saying. Am I going to go with this? URL is going to be z.string. Does that look good, guys, or no? Right here for this type. They have a z.instance. It should be z.instance file. And then somebody, Harash, you're saying it should be z.object. Logo.z.any.refine file size equals max file size. Max file size is 5 megabytes. I've seen that before somewhere. Let me see. Is there an instance? There's an instance of Would that work right here? I mean, ChatGPT. I mean, GitHub Copilot told me instance of file dot refine, and what I could do is I could tell OpenAI to tell me explain this instance of file. Yeah, that's what it recommended me to type. So it's saying right here, this line of TypeScript code is part of a schema definition using the Zala library, which is the local property is defined by an instance of the file object. This is done by using the z.instance of file method, which checks that the provided value is an instance of the file class. The file object represents a file in a web application and is commonly used in operations involving the file API, like reading from or writing to a file. After defining the type of local, a refinement is added to use the refine method. Refinements in Zod are used to add additional validation rules to a schema. Okay, so I think this is the correct way right here. Hirash, you did, I think, the beginning part right. I mean, wrong because you put .any. So I think it's just .instance of, but your refine is pretty much the same as mine. Which I probably want to do less than 5 megabytes. So what is that, 5? Because I don't think that's that big for a file, right? We'll see. So we're getting let's do a quick fix here. Change event HTML element. Where did all the watch fields go? Const logo. Then we also have the set value here. And okay, now the type of logo is file. It auto removed. Yeah, I don't remember auto removing. So this has got to be a wrong initial value now. What would the initial value of this logo be? Let's see what. Just null? No, type null is not assignable or it's undefined. Okay, that should work. Now it's saying on submit was removed. Okay. What are the other errors? Input. It told me to put undefined. I tried null, but it says either undefined or a file. Uploading file expected 1 argument but got 0. Where do I plan on saving the image? I haven't gotten that far yet. I was thinking of maybe like S3. I don't know. I was going to get a recommendation from you guys. We could do like an S3 bucket maybe. On change. Type file of on change. And I'm getting some error here. Type file is not assignable to type string, number, read only, or yeah, I've used S3 before. I think S3 is going to probably be my best bet. Did you mean URL? So do I have to change this in a URL variable? Argument of type string is not assignable to type parameter of type file. Do I have to set this to a toString, the URL, or no? So we're getting the logo, which is a file. Actually, if you upload an S3, the logo should be a string. We just need the location. Even for now, you can get the URL from the create URL object. So does that mean I have to change the schema again? Would I have to change this chatbot schema or keep it? Open the link, please. I don't know what link you're talking about, but you're saying change it for now? So this needs to be a string. So how would I be able to display it though? That's where I was stuck. So we change that to a string. The type is going to be still file or no? Open the link, please. What link are, I think we can't share the link. What link are you guys talking about? Are you talking about my GitHub Repo link? Or are you talking about like to actually help me like live? Yeah, file. So file, we have the on change uploading file. Here's the uploading file function right here. We don't need this because I'm not even using it. It says argument type string is not assignable to type parameter of blob or media source. It's saying this logo is a string now. So when I had it as a file, it said it was a file. If I do quick fix, I just want to see what Copilot's going to tell me. If type of logo equals string, then URL equals logo, else URL equals this. If I accept this, it fixes the error. Oh, you need that? We need that? What was it? Let me see. Const upload file function. Oh, this would be an easy way to share it. Nice. If file const image URL. Let me copy that and see. That kind of looks pretty good. I think it's going to be logo though, not image. And I'm just going to put a set logo. Let me see what type this wants us to give. Set value. Does it keep deleting stuff off my thing? Or did I remove it? Const watch and set value equals form. Argument of type file. Don't remove the set value. Remove the set image URL. We need to go to the uploading. I showed the code in Discord. Remove the set image URL. You can just pass the logo down. So should I set the wait file? Argument type file is not assignable to parameter of type string. So you're saying remove this. Set this to the image URL. Okay, it looks like I have no errors. So, okay, that's working. Let's go to our chat prototype, image source, all, okay. So if we do logo, fail to set the value property on the HTML input element. This input element accepts file name, which may only be programmatically set to the empty string. This input element accepts a file name, which may only programmatically set to the empty string. Fail to set the value property on the HTML element. In the modify, I've kept the set value line for setting the URL for preview purposes. Additionally, I've used the form.setValue to set the actual file object. Okay, let me try this. Yeah, I know. An app that we can do coding together. Yeah, that would help a lot. Let me see. I know an app that's not bad. I don't know how great it's going to be. Here, I'm going to figure that out first. Let me figure that out. Because I feel like it would be a lot helpful. Because I don't even know. I feel like the chats, am I answering your guys' chats right away? Or is there a delay? Because I'm looking at the chats on OBS and not on YouTube. And I just started live streaming this week. It's been about 7 days, so no delay. Okay, I don't know why I thought there was a delay. You say try consoling URL. You're saying, yeah, there is delays? Is it bad or like not crazy bad? Image URL? Let me save this. So let's say if we upload a file. This is use client, right? Yeah. Here's the console right here. 15, 30 seconds. Yeah, it might be. Image URL. Can this equal source equals null or undefined? No, source is not assignable. It's saying failed to set value property on HTML input. This input element accepts a file name. That's the console right there. Also take blob in the URL. That should be the source. Also take blob in the URL. You know what we could do? Which obviously we don't have to share screens. Like open the whole blob link in a new tab. This is the whole blob link in the new tab right here. I'm kind of confused of what you want me to try to do. So this is what ChatGPT said I should do. So if I do that, quick fix. Okay, so let's try this now. Fail to parse source object file. If you're using an image, it must start with a leading slash or an absolute. I'm going to go back to what we had. ChatGPT wrong. I always want to fight ChatGPT. Always give me the wrong code. Yeah, no, it does. I feel like it's 50-50. Sometimes it helps, but yeah, sometimes you do want it. Like I cuss at ChatGPT sometimes. I literally say, yeah, shut the hell up. Like that's what I type. Doesn't really ever talk back when I do that either. I'm looking at alternatives too. Go to image source and then either yeah, I use it a lot for TypeScript. I feel like knowing all the types, it won't. I mean, I might as well just chat GPT. There's no point of knowing it. So you're saying if I add that, like maybe fail to set the value property on HTML, the input element is subject file name, which may only be programmatically set to an empty string. What does that even mean? So fail to set the value property on the HTML input element. This input element is subject file name, which can be only programmatically set to empty string. Yeah, the error you're encountering is related to trying to set the value of the file input element, which is restricted for security reasons. So I think that fake path thing that I have on my computer, which other people might have, it's restricting it. For display preview the select image, you can use a different approach without directly setting the value of the file input. It must be a field control problem because normally field control has a default on change, but now we override on change with their own. Type equals file except remove the field. What do I say? Remove this field. That's what you're saying. Type equals file, and then dot 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 register image, but there's no register. Can't find the name register. I know that's if you use the React hook form, just straight up type equals file. Oh, not image, logo. Yeah, the register is from the use form. Okay, let's see. There we go. It works. That was it. You can see it's popping up there. But it choose file. And then you start typing anything else, it removes. That's weird. Why would it do that? So like chatty logo. Is there any way to stop that to make it not re-render? Or, I mean, it's whatever at this point. What do you guys think of bus station maintain rate? That's what I kind of thought too. I thought even if it re-renders, this chatty is staying, but then when I type something else, it doesn't. So why is that image not staying, but the other isn't? Is that a question for ChatGPT? Or should I ask my chat GPT? Help desk, cloud backup. I could do this. I'm going to see what it says. Is not being stored in state anymore after a re-render. Explain this. If I have to, seems like. It's saying that the default values will override the set value. But that doesn't make any sense because the name default value is still an empty string. You're saying this because we are manually handling the on change and not storing the URL. We have to make a custom use state to store the URL. That makes, yeah, that kind of makes sense actually. So all we have to do is come up here. We still have to set the, no, I mean, we can still set the value, right? Set image. Oh, let me do set logo actually. And for the next stream, I'm gonna buy a thing where we could share screens. What do you think about that? Like where I could share screens and you guys should be able to like mouse around and be able to click on my code. Only certain people from the chat are gonna be able to do that. The ones who I feel most comfortable with, obviously, not everybody who joins the chat. Do you guys think that's a good idea, bad idea? What do you guys think? Set logo state. Simon, where are you from? What country or state? I'm gonna try this to see if it works. Oh, New York, nice. So your East Coast was me. You're a night owl. It's 3 a.m. What time do you usually wake up at? Yeah, no, I'm about to get off too. I'm in the same time zone. I'm in Tampa, Tampa, Florida. I'm about to get off here too. I'm just gonna try this, and if this works, we're good to go. But I'll do another live tomorrow, 9 to 10. It's not horrible. You can still get a decent amount of sleep, 6-7 hours. Still not the best, but it's not the worst. If you had to get up at 7 a.m., that would suck. Okay, that works. Storing it in a different state, I'm allowed to move it now. It lets me still update other stuff without it removing. So setting it in a different state actually worked. Good job, D. D coming in clutch with some of this stuff for sure. It makes sense. I mean, I guess there's a lot to that React hook form for sure. A lot of stuff to that. Rounded full. But I guess other than that, we've made pretty good progress today. Nothing crazy, but kind of almost we built a foundation of where we're going to be heading. I'm going to stop it there too because it is 3 a.m. for me. I do need to wake up at around the same time, like 10 a.m. So other than that, thank you guys for joining the live. Thank you for all the help, Simon, D, Loco, everybody who's joined. I don't want to keep forgetting names. Loco, Harash. You guys all have been here multiple days. I really appreciate you guys coming in, talking with you guys, getting the code. Yeah, pretty good so far. What time are you live tomorrow? I see an issue in the logo stage resetting, so is showing choose file. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that tomorrow because I'm almost like clocking out. But what time is better for you guys for the lives? Because I'm pretty much available all evening, which my time zone's Eastern. What time zone is good for you guys? Because I want to do it at the best time. Oh, no problem, Loco. Yeah, just like I said, if you're in the Discord, send me your code. I'll help you with mine. You help me with yours. But I'm very interested to see what time frame you guys like me going live at. I did 12 a.m. just because I just chose it like that. I don't know. I feel like I get a lot of viewers on YouTube around this time, so that's why I decided to go live. I wish I knew how to do a poll on the YouTube lives. What time is... You're an hour behind? I'm just going to type it in the chat. I don't even know how to do a poll. Oh, you've been getting a lot of help from my next auth? Hell yeah. That's where I feel like most of my people are coming from. D, it's morning there for you? Okay, so what do you guys think of me going live at 10 p.m. Eastern? Which is like, or 10:30. Because you local you started an hour before. 10:30 p.m. Eastern. I want to try to stick to a consistent schedule. So if we could get people, and like I said, I'm going to buy a remote PC from where you belong. I'm in Tampa, Tampa, Florida. So mine's EST time. So let me do EST to India. You think 9 p.m.? What do you guys think about 9 p.m. Eastern, or is that too early? (9 p.m. to 2 a.m.) works for me. So we got 2 9 p.m. I think 9 p.m. would be pretty good too. That's 10 a.m. for you. That's too early for me. It's like 6 a.m. I could do what's the earliest you could do then? I think 10:30 might be fine. Because if you're saying Simon from 9 to 2, let's do 9:30 or 10 for D. Yeah, I call him D. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I already told him like his nickname's D. Simon's easy to pronounce, so I mean, thank God. But there's just some names I can't pronounce, and I don't want to butcher your name, like just nonstop too. Let's shoot for 10 p.m. Eastern. And D, if you come in 30 minutes late, that's fine. The first 15, 30 minutes, I might be getting set up anyway with the code, make sure everything's good. But I'm also going to, like I said, I'm going to get a remote share so you guys can actually, I don't know how to poll. I'm actually going to I'm going to watch a YouTube video after this and see how you do polls on YouTube Lives. Or let me actually try real quick. God. But I think 10 p.m. Eastern or 10:30 was perfect. That's when I'm going to start going live. And there's going to be no time frame for it. 10 p.m. is fine. Okay, I'm going to go 10. And let me see if I could just... Is it telling me how to do a poll? Does anybody know how to do a poll in here? Should I insert an ad on you guys to make you guys watch? No, I'm playing. That'll be messed up. I won't do that. Okay, don't worry, guys. I'll figure out how to do a poll. Oh, there it is. Start a poll. 10 p.m. Eastern or 10:30. This will be for 10. Next time I just gotta look, but we'll see. 10 or 10:30. That'll be my start time. Let me exit out of this. Is it letting you guys vote? Always don't store passwords in your database. Correct. Yeah, you don't want to ever store passwords in your database. I'm not using Next.js. I'm using Firebase Auth, so I don't store the password. I let Firebase handle because I've seen some videos talk about the best practice when it comes to passwords. The number one is always don't store passwords in your database. Yeah, that's correct. It's like 6 a.m. Let's do 9:30 or 10 for D. Oh, I'm reading like past things. It's because I have this. Oh, it's 50-50. Okay, we'll do 10:30. 10:30, we will start going live. That will be our new schedule. And like I said, I'm going to get a software, even if it's a paid version, where I'll give you guys access to somehow be able to access just this window. I don't want you to access my whole screen. Like, I don't want you to access my tabs. But if you guys could access my VS Code window where you can move stuff and change stuff too while I work, we would be in good shape. But other than that, yeah, I handle everything for you. It's just not for me to learn. Yeah. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, tuning in. I'm going to let you guys get some sleep. And hope to see you guys tomorrow. I'll definitely put a notification out and another thumbnail. So peace. See you guys. And so will it be daily or alternative days? It will most of the time it will be daily. But if I have to miss a day or two because I have something going on that night, then I won't be able to go on that night. But I'm going to try to do daily. But if I can't do daily, I won't miss more than one day. So if I miss one day, I will 100% be live the next day. But I'll let everybody know. So if you don't know, join my Discord.